guys, we got this. Let's go. Gun white trip sweep. Pros X go. On one. Ready?
Ready.
What's going on, everyone? NCAP24 here from HuddleGG. Today's video, we're going to talk about unstoppable force, what we can do on offensive side to basically neutralize it, slow it down, stall it, do our best depending on how many they have on the field, and kind of give you all the alternatives you have currently in the game to do so, okay? Now, we all know this is a headache in Madden Ultimate Team. Right now, they put cards in the game where you can literally have 3 guys start the game all glowed up, pre-lit, and get to the quarterback. Sap and a couple of the AKA players, are going to be a headache, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about, depending on how many they have on the field, what your options are. We're going to start off with 1, okay? Now, the first thing you see here, I got 1 on the field. That's really not that difficult to block. It's going to be something where when you have the ability with offensive factors or basically abilities, you can put a post up, and as long as you double team the one guy with a post up player, it will neutralize him, okay? So it's real simple if he's in the A gap, meaning that the center is closer to him, the player is closer to him than the other defensive tackle. If that's the case, all we gotta do is double team him. And what you're gonna see is that our 2 guys are gonna go after him, and he's never gonna get off of this, right? He's just gonna sit in there, and he's good to go, right? If I go ahead and I roll out, he'll basically come out. But if you watch this guy, as long as you double team him with a player that has post up on it, he is absolutely going to get shedded down. He's going to be, one of those 2 players there has post up on him, and he's never going to get out of that, right? I'll do it again for you, and just so you can see it, all we got to do is double team him, and you can see again, these guys are going to basically, neutralize them, and that guy's just not going to get off of it, right? Obviously, you got other players, you get different things for pockets, but you understand. That's if he's in the A gap. What if I flip this play and he's now going to be to the outside of the right guard in the B gap? If I just went ahead and tried to double team him, what's going to end up happening is one of 2 things, okay? The first thing that's going to happen is that the center is not going to go and help him because the person that's closest to the center is the defensive tackle on the left. So it's either where the right tackle is going to go ahead and double team him, leaving this player over here to come straight in, depending on how wide he is. Or if this guy was a little bit closer, what's going to end up happening is that guy's not going to double team at all, and he's going to get a one-on-one. Either or is not going to be great. So if I just double team him and that's all I do, what you should see here is that guy's going to come flying through and he's going to get in, right? So what we have to do if the guy is in the B gap, we're going to have to go ahead and not only double team him, we're going to have to slide to the right. If I slide once, I just want to make sure you can see this. I slide once, you can definitely see that they go there. I always double slide. The reason why I double slide, I just want to make sure that it does register. And if that's the case, what you end up seeing is that guy is going to basically get neutralized by those 2 players, and we're going to basically be good to go, right? We have plenty of time to throw the ball. We're in good shape, right? Now, if I do this over and over again here, just so you can see it, we're going to go do this, and we're going to slide to the right. What you're going to see is that a lot of times I just kind of go a little bit more to the left here. See how these guys are there? I'm up, and we'll just throw our player. But you can see that guy is no longer a problem. So what I'm teaching you right now is how to block a defensive tackle who's lit up. Okay, we're not talking about the outside guys because the outside guys are really, really tough to double team when you have a 4-man front, right? So what we're going to do is we're just going to concentrate on the defensive tackles here, right? Now, let's go ahead and discuss what if they have a second guy in the field, right? Because this looks great, but once they put that second guy in the field, you double team one. That means if you do the math and you're not blocking extra players, you're going to basically end up in a situation to where, I don't know why I'm doing this here, just I'll do the same player. What's going to end up happening is that you're going to get the one player to be double teamed, the other player is going to get a free one-on-one, right? So if I do this, and like I said before, I'm going to double team this guy, what's going to end up happening is the left guard and the left defensive tackle of the screen is going to basically have a one-on-one. That guy's going to get off of his player, he's going to get to the quarterback, and we're going to have very, very little time to throw the ball, okay? Very obvious. So what is the answer in this situation, right? Well, basically, the way I have my lineup right now is I've got a post up on my center, I got a post up on my left guard, but I've got a secure protector on my right guard. Now, before we go further into this, Secure Protector will not go ahead and do the same thing that a post-up does. If your Secure Protector goes ahead and gets a block on him to where he does not have an angle where the guy gets an instant win on him, he will hold him up for a second or two to basically get that initial timer off. Now, this game is a game of angles. There's ways that you can have different angles at his player where it can be insta. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. So when you do that, you're going to have to basically go to the third method, and we'll talk about that in a second, okay? So if I just do this, and I go ahead and I want to do that player, and now I'm going to slide to the left, right? I'm just sliding to the left, so that way I kind of have my guys that go that way with it. We're going to double team that guy. We're going to neutralize it. And you're going to see here that what ended up happening was that our left guy was good to go, right? This guy was good to go. We slid to the left. We got this guy. Now, our Secure Protector right now, it's not an insta win. It's going to be an insta win. I mean, it goes from a opportunity where we get him off of his first timer. He's not beating us right away, not beating us right away, not beating us right away. Then he's going to beat us. That's going to happen pretty much every single time. You can see that I've got my tight end here, which is actually Penn, really, really slow guy. He can get about, he just did his cut, right, on his, what looked like a 15-yard corner route. So he was able to get a 15-yard route and cut, and we could have thrown the ball, right? So you can see that even though it feels like it, that it's going to be, but you should know already where the pressure is coming from because you double teamed one guy. You should know that that guy is going to be able to basically get off of it. So you're going to have to, throw a quick pass, right? I've had an opportunity to throw this ball way before this, and you would have been good to go, right? If I know this, I can kind of step underneath him, right? So do this again where I'm, double teaming this guy. I'm sliding to the left, sliding to the left, sliding to the left. I know that my guy's on an island right there. I go ahead and I stop him. I can kind of step up in the pocket knowing where he's going to be. And now I'm going to be able to kind of, buy myself time, right? Because you know where he's going to win, right? So if you know that you've got one guy absolutely walled, which is the left guy, you want to go to that side, right? I want to step my protection to where that guy is. And I just went ahead and stepped up in that little lane and throw, right? So there is ways that you could do that when there's two players, right? So what if they're in a situation to where maybe they spread and, you double teaming one and getting these guys, it's not as well, right? So if I double team this guy and I slide left, right? I go ahead and I get this double team, right? Well, this time I didn't even get the double team that I wanted because they were so wide. It's going to be a headache. So we have to give you a third option. And the third option is play action, okay? Now, what you're looking for is the play action that attacks people. And let me explain what I mean. So in doubles weak, I'm just going to call PA read, right? If I do this, you look at my line, they're going to attack up front. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hike it, and I want you to watch both the animations of the guys that have the glow sticks, right? What's going to end up happening is they're going to get off at the same exact time. Well, that time we actually did a really good job on the second. We ended up getting a double team, and that's why it didn't happen. But if we go ahead and these guys don't get a double team, they just go single up, right? And I'll show you once they get the single up. Here it is. They're going to do that same animation at the same exact time. They are on a timer. Watch, it's like synchronized swimming, right? As long as they don't get a double team, watch these guys. These guys are going to go here. And then as soon as you go ahead, now the timer's off. They're both doing the same thing at the same time, and they're going to get to the quarterback. But look how much time we had. I mean, we could throw this crosser, all day here. We could throw this guy inside. If you know that it's going to come, you know that you have the ability to basically at a certain point know that they're going to break. And as soon as you start seeing that their hands separate, like right there, you know it's coming. So you know you have to get the ball off, right? So it's pretty obvious. Now, I can go ahead and try to double team one player. On play action passes, it's not going to command it. Usually that guy's just going to back up. Let's see here. Right here, we got the one-on-one. That guy gets off. We did get the double team on that player, but we're able to get that guy's going to come in, right? So something I want to make sure that you understand with play action as well, you have to keep the running back on its play action. If I put him on a route, and no longer will do that timer. So watch this here. You can see that these guys are going to be able to beat that guy right away and get to the quarterback. Okay, once you put that player on a block or a anything, right? Just if you take him off of that, you're now susceptible to the early ability to get to the quarterback, and no longer gives you that timer that you have time to throw the ball. As soon as I do this, I go ahead, I got the timer, I got the timer, I got the timer. You can see here, we got the ability, nice play by him, but we have the ability to have time to throw the ball. So the last thing we want to talk about before we end this video is, can you double team 2 people at once? The answer is yes and no, okay? The answer is yes, if they have an alignment that you can do it, and you're going to have to bring another player into the equation. So if I bring a 6 blocker where it's going to be my tight end, and I just go ahead and do whatever I want. If I just, by blocking him, and those guys are basically in between these 2 players. Basically, let me explain this here. That guy's in between those 2 players. These guys are in between these 2 players. Then a lot of times what you're going to do is those guys are going to naturally go ahead and double team both of those while he's Clowny is on a outside one-on-one and Karlaftis is on outside one-on-one, right? So let's just go ahead and show you that. If we do this, these guys are now double teamed, and now you've got your post-ups that you're going to be able to block those guys. By bringing in your tight end into the equation, we've brought in an extra player, and as long as those guys are in those spots, it's a really good idea to do that, right? You're going to be able to do this, get those 2 double teams, stand up in the pocket, throw your ball, and you're good to go, right? So that is going to require another person. If they go ahead and say they spread out and they're more on the outsides, right? And I do the same thing and I block this guy, you're not always going to get a double team. This time we were able to get the double team on the left, but you can see that our player on the right didn't help out the way that we wanted it to, right? Because if you look over here on the right, you're going to see that if you go ahead and look at this, those guys double teamed on the left. Naturally, the guy on the right ended up, looking like he was going to get double team, and he kind of broke the double team and got in the middle, right? So if they do spread, a lot of times what you want to do is kind of go ahead and use one of those guys as a double team. I didn't put my player out there. Let's go ahead and change that. I forgot to block my tight end. It's to block the tight end and choose one side to double team if they spread those guys out, right? If those guys are basically, no one's in the A gap, they're both in B gaps, or as far as their technique will go, what we're going to do here is we're going to double team one side and let the other side naturally double team. And you can see how we're able to kind of do that right there, right? So these are just blocking methods when it comes to those players, right? Now, if they bring a 3rd player into the equation, I want to make sure that you understand the philosophy of blocking. Always block inside out. What I mean by that is let the outside guy be the guy that you can step up. Like if they were to go ahead and take one of these guys and put him to the outside. I'm going to put the same exact thing we just did here, but I'm going to just take this guy and put him on the outside, right? And we're going to do the same thing where we're gonna block the extra player, right? Say they got 2 guys and we want to block the tight end, and we're going to make sure that we double team this guy. And what I'm saying is, what we're assuming is that all 3 of the players on the left are all lit. So the guy in the defensive tackle is all lit as well, right? What we're gonna see is we've got double teams on all our guys. You can step up, right? If the outside guy is coming at you. If you leave a defensive tackle one-on-one, you're gonna be in trouble. You want to leave the outside player to be the one-on-one so that when he does win, you have this ability to still step up in the pocket and make your throw. So hopefully this, guys, was very helpful for you. Please leave a comment. Let us know, how you guys are doing with this. And obviously this is going to be a headache for you. At least right now, only 1 player will stay lit. The other guys will basically be rotated. So a good idea is to run the ball when all 3 of them are lit, or to run RPOs, or do things that are high percentage throws, screens, to get them off so that you're not behind the sticks. And then once they are going down to 1, you know how to block it. So appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you on the next video.